Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. With news that power utility Eskom, petrochemicals company Sasol Mining, and coal giant Xstrata all investing in more coal mines, it would seem that coal is still king. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer is with me in the studio to tell us more about this. Welcome to Second Take, Martin.
Thanks, Shannon.
News is that Eskom needs 40 more coal mines by 2020 to meet electricity demand. What's the story?
That's an enormous number of coal mines, but that is what Johan Dempers has calculated from Eskom, and he's shouted it from the rooftops at many conferences because he wants to stimulate the private sector to actually create those mines, because the reports from Eskom are that there aren't a sufficient number of coal mining companies and coal mines coming through with new potential material which would affect them from a material point of view. So in the past, we used to have, coal mining pioneers, Anglo Coal, led by Graham Boustead. He would always be negotiating with Eskom early to set up so that the power stations could be located close to the coal mines and that they could be fed with coal on a conveyor belt. And we've had that history. There's now a situation where some of the dedicated mines are supplying at an optimum level, and you have to get coal in from other areas, which is destroying the roads in Mpumalanga. But the whole message from Eskom now is that, look, we need an enormous number of coal mines to come through just to tide us over for the growth going forward.
And now Sasol Mining has also reported that they are building 3 new coal mines.
The interesting thing about South Africa is that we don't only turn on our lights with the help of coal, but we also drive our cars with the help of coal, and we even fly our aircraft on coal. So we're very much wedded to coal. And you can see a company like Sasol and their mining division needing to also replace coal mines that have been depleted. So they had 3 very big coal mines there, I think Middelbult and Twistdraai and Brunsspruit. And those are depleting now. Those were initiated in the 70s and 80s. They now need to be replaced. So they're saying that in the next 10 years, they need another 3 coal mines just to replace that. So that's not growth. We're not talking about growth. We're just talking about ticking over at the same level in Mpumalanga, because the vision of Sasol is that it's got its plant which produces petrol and diesel and chemicals from coal in the Mpumalanga province, but its eyes are also on the Limpopo province, where it will move to the Waterberg, and it's got a very big plan there for a project called Mafuta, which will be another big petrol from coal plant coming up in the future.
Now, coal bullishness is arguably the most intense within coal Xstrata South Africa.
Yeah, Xstrata South Africa is very bullish on coal. And one of the fundamentals that they see is that the countries that are producing coal are consuming more of that coal domestically. We can see the same thing happening in South Africa, where Eskom is calling for more people to produce coal so that they can consume it domestically, not export it. And Xstrata Coal South Africa is the biggest supplier of seaborne thermal coal in the world. And as the domestic producers of coal in the world consume more of their coal domestically, there's a bigger opportunity for those exporters. So you can see Xstrata South Africa going ahead with Atcom East project and looking at 2 more projects down the line, Tweefontein and also Zonneblom, which will be even bigger mines, which will be more in the sort of volume size of Goedgevonden, which they've just commissioned. And they are looking at not only Atcom East going ahead, but in quick succession, there will also be decisions taken on these other 2 bigger mines. So their bullish coal attitude is apparent, definitely, in the way they're going ahead with mines.
And then finally, what are all these companies going to do regarding the environmental concerns with the use of coal?
You'd think with the world attitude to carbon dioxide emissions, global warming, and the carbon footprints, and trying to shrink those down, people would be saying, look, there's no future for coal. But as you can see, the world will need coal for decades going forward. But what does it do when that coal emits carbon dioxide. So the coal mining companies will not really be involved in carbon capture and storage and trying to do something that stops emission of CO2 into the atmosphere, but they are part of that big debate because they need to also satisfy the world demands on global warming now. So what is envisaged is that there will be carbon capture and storage from power stations. So a power station like Eskom burning coal, will capture that carbon dioxide emission, and it will then inject it into an appropriate underground storage position. And then you get even more ambitious thoughts coming from Sasol, which is a huge emitter of carbon dioxide, saying, look, let's do something better with that carbon dioxide. Can't we turn it into fuel? And they are looking at possibilities of actually turning that carbon dioxide into a commercial fuel, which is far more exciting in my view.
So it seems there's no getting away from coal.
No getting away from coal.
Thank you very much, Martin.
It's a pleasure, Shannon.
That's the show for today. Join us again next time for more insight into the happenings of the mining world.